Hey everybody, it's Melissa. Welcome to day 7 of Central Parks Yoga's videos online for yoga practice. I've gotten some questions from some people over the last couple of days. So I thought I'd take today and just kind of make this a little bit more of an educational piece. It definitely won't be an hour long. But some good things that I want to share with you all that I think could be useful through our shelter, in home, whatever it's called, and just some things that can be grounding, okay, to be helpful for you during this time. So first thing I want to go into is what we call smudging. This is not necessarily something that I learned in yoga. It's something that I learned, actually, goodness, trying to remember the first time that I was ever smudged. And honestly, I don't even know, but I learned a little bit more about smudging when I did my Reiki level 2 and 1 attunements with Nicole Oldberg here in town. And basically smudging is the burning of sage, or some people use like Palo Santos, which is another sacred or holy wood that Native American people used to use many years ago to clear any negative energies from their space. And for me, it's just kind of a thing that I do quite often to kind of reground, let any stagnant energy or negative energies kind of clear from the space. I do it quite often at the studio. My yoga teacher trainees can attest to that. So it's just something good to bring in. What I would recommend is that if you are going to smudge your home, or maybe even your workspace, depending on where you work, that you are allowing space or have a window open. Smudging is burning of sage or Palo Santos, which obviously produces smoke. So you want to have a way for that to escape or get out of your space. So I do have sage here at the studio that I sell for $5, but what I want to show you is I've taken one of these rolls, and sage is pretty big. I've already cut some off of this. I don't generally burn a whole thing of sage at one time. It would be pretty overwhelming. So what I do is I take the bigger roll of sage and I just take scissors and kind of cut it off, and I put it into, you could simply put it into a mug. But look, if you use a mug, like this is my saging or smudging mug, it's nasty right on the inside. So don't use a mug that you're gonna ever wanna drink out of again. Maybe use an incense burner if you have something like that. Just something that is safe, okay, for burning stuff in. So what I've done is I've cut the sage, I've put a bunch of that I cut off in the cup. You don't need a lot, okay? And all you do is light it. And it's a lot like incense, as to where, like, when you light it, you let it get lit first, and then you blow it out, and it'll continue to smolder. So I've got it lit now. I'm just gonna blow out the flame, and as you can see, I've got smoke, right? I really like the smell of sage. Some people don't. Some people do not enjoy it. So it's just something that you'll have to try. So what I like to do is sage my aura, okay? So my energy space around the body. I simply just go around the edges of my body, okay? So going around your arms, your torso, You can go around your legs. A lot of times I like to just set the cup down and hold my feet above the smoke. I'm just taking a couple of deep breaths as I do this. And then you can continue to allow this to smolder. You could walk around your home. If you feel like the space needs some clearing or some removal of negative energies and such. For me, it's just really grounding. So smudging is just, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel calm and relaxed. Everybody's a little different. So maybe for you, you're like, no, that's not something that I really care to do. That's okay. So I'm just trying to share some things with y'all today that'll make you feel a little bit better, a little bit more at ease. Second thing I want to go into is the cleaner I make for the yoga mats. If you've been to the studio, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the cleaner that I make that's always available to use to clean your yoga mats. I had somebody get a hold of me today about how to make it. I'm going to go through how to make it. It's really super easy. You probably have all of the things at home that you need to make this, so I would encourage you to do so. Not only to use to clean your mat after your home practices, but I use it everywhere. So I use it to wipe down sinks. I use it a lot of times on the floor here at the studio. So use it, it's safe. It's not harmful. There's nothing in it that will harm you. It smells nice, depending on the essential oils that you're gonna put in it to make it. So all you need, big spray bottle. Like these are the ones that I use at the studio, right? These are plastic. Best case would be a glass bottle. So like this with a sprayer. Now I realize probably a lot of people don't just have these sitting around, okay? But if you have access to a glass bottle like this, these are better to use because of putting essential oils into the spray. Essential oils, they don't dissipate through the glass, so it's gonna last longer in a glass container. We go through them so quickly here at the studio that I just usually use the plastic because I make this stuff a lot to provide for my students. So whatever you have available. You need distilled water, okay? These are like, I don't know, 80 cents. I think this one's from Walmart. And then I get distilled white vinegar, okay? So white vinegar of some sort. You need those two things. That's your base. And then you need essential oils. The main ones that I always use in the cleaner main one is tea tree oil, or what they call Melaleuca, which I have, and it doesn't really matter like the brand per se. I use, like this one I've been using recently, it's just 100% tea tree oil, and then whatever smells you want. So a big one that a lot of people really like at the studio, I've been making this scent blend up since I think last summer, but it's your I think it's this one, excuse me, orange, lemongrass, and rosemary. Now I realize if you're not an essential oil person, you might not have all of these oils just sitting around at home, which is okay. You can probably go to, I think Health and Nutrition Plus here in Sterling is still open for business right now with the shutdowns. I know they carry all sorts of essential oils. A good scent that a lot of people also like is lavender. So like this one here is lavender and rosemary. So it just depends on your smeller, okay, what sits well with you. Anything citrusy is going to be more energizing when you're smelling it. So like lemon, orange, things in that nature, a little bit more uplifting. Where like lavender, I'm trying to think of some other ones. Nothing's coming to me right at the top of my head. Lavender is like the biggest one that's real calming, okay, to the body and the mind. So all you're going to do is take your bottle that you have, whatever size, it doesn't matter. You're going to fill it up 3/4 of the way with your distilled water, and then you're going to fill it up 1/4 of the way with vinegar, okay? That's going to be the bulk of the bottle. It's just water and vinegar. And then top it off with your oils. I usually take a dropper and I just fill it up in the oil bottle. So you just put your dropper in here, fill it up, dump it in the bottle. I'm usually pretty giving, I guess I would say, on the oils. So I don't like the smell of vinegar at all. So the essential oils helps to combat that smell of vinegar. So that's really the reason the essential oils are in there. Tea tree oil and vinegar, you can do your research on it. I'm not going to quote anything on here. I'm not going to say it does or does not, kill bacteria or viruses or whatever. Do your research on that. There's a ton of it online. Just know that this is a natural way to have a cleaner. So I was at Walmart just a little bit ago because I had to grab a couple things, and stuff's pretty slim, right? So if we're trying to find an alternative of a cleaning product, right, something that's not harmful, then maybe you try something like this out. If you're practicing with me at home, please clean your mat every single practice. I know that a lot of us are being told to stay in, but I'm sure a lot of us are still having maybe to work, or we're having contact with some people, right? So just make sure that we're cleaning the mat and getting rid of any sort of germs or what have you from your practice, okay? Another thing I want to go through is I know that everyone is probably missing the lavender towels that we use in Shavasana on the forehead, right? And I know a lot of people really, really love those. They're so simple to make, okay? So all you need is lavender essential oil, and you need some hand towels, okay? These are the ones I use at the studio. They're just this size. I fold them like this, all right? All you're gonna do is take your towels. I usually take a batch of towels, put them in your sink. Fill your sink up with water and dump lavender in to the sink. Allow the towels to soak. Sometimes I'll leave them in overnight. Sometimes I'll leave them in for a few hours. Once you're done soaking, just let the water leave. So take the plug out of the sink, let it drain, and then you're gonna take your towels. They're gonna be sopping wet, dripping. You just wring them out. Get as much of that standing water away from the towel. I just fold them back just like this, and then I put them in the fridge. That's it. It's very, very simple. One thing you want to make sure of is that when you're storing them in the fridge, put them in like a Tupperware or something. If you just set them in the fridge, they're going to dry out quickly. So set them in a tub of some sort so that they keep the moisture. And then when you're doing your home practice and I'm putting you in Shavasana, take a minute, go grab one from your fridge, put it on your forehead or wherever you want. Some people like them here on the chest. So do what suits you. But then you have lavender towels, and it'll make you feel even more like you're here doing practice right with me, okay? When you're kind of gauging how much lavender to put in your towels to soak. For a long time now, I've been using this brand of lavender at the studio for the cold towels. Okay, it's called Now. You can get this online. You can get it at Health and Nutrition Plus. This is about a $30 bottle, I think, roughly. But when I do the towels, I'm not stingy about it. Okay, so I just open the bottle and dump. Okay, just dump some lavender in there. Don't be shy about it, right? So that's how the great lavender towels are prepared for my students. And I want you all to be as comfortable at home doing practice with me as you would if you were here. And I know a lot of people really enjoy those, so I wanted to make sure to be able to share that with you all for today. So one more thing too on just kind of creating a space where you feel good, comfortable, along with the smudging, burning of the sage. If you're a person who doesn't have the ability to burn something where you're at, so like if you want to smudge your space at work, but you work at a hospital, clearly you're not going to be able to burn sage in a hospital environment, right? There is ways that you can smudge without having to burn something. So a lot of places now sell like smudging sprays. I have a couple examples here. So this is a Palo Santo spray. I got this at, I believe, Grandma's Healing Porch in Prophetstown. And this is really nice because it does smell really good. And you just go around your area and spray. Okay? You could also spray your aura. So if you're feeling like, oh, I need some uplifting today, I feel a little bit off, maybe try to find yourself some of this. There's all different sorts of smudging sprays out there. Any holistic healing store is going to carry stuff like that. I can even make one for you if you need me to. I know Nicole Oldberg. She's a Reiki instructor, or Reiki master, I should say, here in town. I know she makes a lot of smudging sprays. If you have questions about where to find some of that stuff, just reach out and I can direct you. I also have, this is actually something that I picked up on my trip in India. It's a rose water spray. So self-care and self-love right now needs to be at a high level. It's not really, one of my teachers from India posted on Facebook today, self-care is no more about being a luxury, it's a necessity for everything that we're going through right now in our world, okay? So this is a rose water spray. I guarantee you're probably not going to be able to find this in the States, this specific brand, but you can get rose water spray online. You can get it, I'm not sure if Grandma's Healing Porch has it or not. Chakra Tree Crystals in Rock Falls might have it, but it's just a nice thing when you're feeling kind of, for me, when I'm feeling kind of anxious, rapid breath, right? Like, which I felt like a lot lately, you know, after the last few days and coming back from my trip and just coming back into reality. And now our realities are kind of shattered, right? Because of everything that we're going through. But it feels good. This is a cooling spray. So rose water is very cooling. So you simply can just spray it. You can spray it right on your face. It's not harmful. It's not going to hurt your eyes. And it's got a very beautiful, nice smell. Nothing overwhelming, nothing overpowering. But it just helps you feel a little bit more at ease. For ladies that may be going through menopause and experiencing hot flashes, right? Sometimes there's no way to like cool down quick enough. Rose water spray will help with that. Also, anything, and I did have one out here at the studio. I had made up like a peppermint spray. So I just took distilled water again, and I probably put like some coconut oil in there, and then I added some peppermint essential oil, and you can just spray that on the skin, and it's going to help cool us down quickly. As I was saying, you know, self-care is something that I don't think should be considered just a luxury anymore. It's a necessity, not only for our bodies, but for up here, for the mind, just like our yoga practices. So, I hope this all benefits you very much. I would encourage you to make some of this cleaner up as soon as you can, right? I mean, a lot of surfaces need to be cleaned off right away right now. I'm not going to state it does or does not kill, whatever, but it can't hurt, right? And it's natural, it's safe, it's not going to harm you if you've got kids. It smells beautiful like essential oils. Everybody loves the smell of the studio. So if you're using this stuff at home over time, your home should start to smell just like the studio space. So I'm hoping that that just brings you some good education today. I hope you all have been enjoying the videos I've been putting out. I hate being on camera. I absolutely despise it. So I'm sure you're seeing some of my nerves come through. I'm working on that, transitioning from being in person with you at the studio to just talking to you through a camera and doing a practice on a camera is scary. It's so much different. So I'm working through that, and please be patient with me. If there's something that you're looking for in a practice as far as a certain posture, a certain type of practice, a certain type of breath work that you need some help with, please just reach out to me. You can always get a hold of me on Facebook. You can text me. My number is 815-677-5230 if you don't have my cell. But I'm open to any suggestions, anything that you want to work through, and I'd be more than happy to bring that stuff to light. Just to kind of run through the videos that are up so far. So day one was pretty much a good intro to the virtual practice. And if I remember correctly, it was a pretty gentle flow. So more of like what we would work through in gentle hatha. Day two, I shared Nadi Shodhana, which is the alternate nasal breath. If you know people in your life, and I guarantee right now everyone can use that practice, but spread the word on those breathwork practices. If somebody doesn't come to yoga, I guarantee they know nothing about Nadi Shodhana. They're just not going to know. Let's educate and empower our community here. So I encourage you to share those videos. Share that video or point somebody to it. So send them the link or send them the link to my YouTube channel that maybe is working in the healthcare field right now. You guys, we need to send love and light to those people. They're working so hard right now to care for us, and you know, send that to those people. The workers probably need it, right? So giving them a way to calm down during their shift. I mean, it's kind of scary, you know, that those people are being just pushed to their limits with their jobs. So maybe forward some of that stuff to them. Day three kind of got messed up. So it was a full practice. I think it's an hour and a half, to be honest with you. It's a good blend of some vinyasa, I believe, and gentle. But my iPad messed up on me about an hour through. So I had to send 2 links for that practice. So if you look on my channel, there's day 3 part 1 and day 3 part 2. So if you do part 1, please continue the rest of that practice and then click on part 2, because that'll cool you down for the rest of that practice and then allow you to rest in Shavasana. Day 4, if I remember correctly, it was a pretty gentle practice as well. Nothing too crazy. If I remember right, I think I did some propping with Sphinx posture, which is really beneficial for the low back. And then yesterday, day 6, was a full traditional vinyasa practice. So just kind of wanted to cover what's in there because I know and I guarantee everybody's not kind of looking through the links to see what's available and what's not. And that way you don't have to watch a whole video to figure out what it is. So I'm missing everybody so much. I know I get to have this space for you, but as far as being in person and seeing everyone each day, just know I miss you very much. I appreciate everyone that is sharing these videos, who's using these videos. My goal is just to help and be a resource in our community. Please, if there's anybody that you know that would benefit from this practice, from anything that I'm showing on here, just send it. Send it to them, spread the word. I appreciate so much the donations that have come through. Thank you so much. So as of right now, the studio doors will remain closed to in-person classes until April 8th. So originally it was going to be until the end of March, and then with the governor passing the shelter and home, whatever it's called, that has to continue until April 7th. So I'll continue to do online stuff for you. If anybody needs one-on-one assistance for practice, so if you're looking to maybe do a virtual one-on-one with me, I'm available to do that. Just reach out. Before I close with you today, let's just take a moment and find a comfortable seat. And just allow the eyes to maybe close if you're comfortable with that, to allow yourself to just settle in on the seat. Take a couple of moments to just breathe. Allow the hands to find prayer. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free from suffering. Remembering always the light within us that's shared, that space within where God exists amongst us all. Honor it always, cherish it, and never forget what it does for us. Connecting, uniting, making us one. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.